Okay, so in this session, we are going to discuss about the OSGi service or the OSGi configuration or the OSGi component. So firstly, it's just simple and framework. What is the stand for the OSGi? Open Service Gateway Initiative. Okay, so it was introduced in 1999. Okay, it was introduced by the organization, not a single company, right? Okay, and the thing is why they have introduced because of creating the embedded devices. Okay, so this is types of embedded devices just like consider your washing machine, right? So in the washing machine we have a embedded devices. So there we are using a hardware and as well as a software. So this is nothing but your embedded devices. Okay, but nowadays we are using this OSGI for creating a or for storing the backend codes, right? Okay, mostly we are using this OSGI for creating an IDs as well. Here you see, here we have one example. So Eclipse, we are using a Eclipse ID, right? So internally they have used this OSGI framework, right? They have used this OSGI frameworks, but this is just simply an specification. Okay, so consider this is the OSGI we have. Inside this OSGI, they have created only the interface. Here only they have created the interface. They haven't provided the implementations. So here only we have a method. Inside this method, we don't have any implementations, right? So we have to use the server. For that, sorry, we have to use the servers. Okay, so vendors have provided a lot of servers. So in this case, we are using this Apache Felix. Okay, so this is the Apache Felix has provided the implementation for these specifications. Okay, got it? Yeah, and it works as a module. It works as a module. That means here you have one module, here you have another module. Okay, so in this case consider this is your project. So inside this project there is no need, here there is no need to depend on each others, right? These are not dependent on each other, so they are independent. Okay, and each and individual we have created a module, so we can easily perform the life cycle, right? That means we can easily delete this one, so it will not harm to this on other modules, right? So it works on the module base. If you want to test this module, you can easily test it, right? So where you can get this one, so just simply come here. Here we have to define the path, that is localhost 4502 system console bundle. There is the thing, hit enter. Now you will see the modules here. So these are nothing but your modules. So right now is in active state. That means it is ready to execute. It's ready to execute, right? These are the bundles we have, and this bundle in the form of module only. So this is the first bundle. Inside that, when you will click here, you will see the backend code. See, this is the packages we have. This is what? This is nothing but your packages. Okay, so all this backend code it's stored inside your OSGI, right? Okay, what are the advantages? So first of all, it is fast. Okay, because it is an index base. Index base, that means now consider here you have one class, that is class A, and this is the class you are using somewhere. Now this is the class we want to execute, right? This is the class we want to execute, and this is the class it has present inside this jar A. Okay, and here we have a jar B as well, and consider here we have a jar C as well. Okay, so before OSGI, Java try to first of all find out the class A inside this Java A, right? After that it will try to find out inside the B, and later that it will try to find out inside the C. Okay, so if consider this is the class it has present inside this C. So firstly it has trying to find out inside the Java jar A, then B, and then after that in the C. But AEM this OSGI will not do like that. Directly it has maintaining the index. So he knows that where this class it has stored. So like here we have a class, so they knows that they will generate the address. So for the package as well, they will generate the address, and in the project, so where it has, so directly it will pick up. So because of that reason only it is fast. Okay, it reduces the complexity simply. Now consider here you have a 10 modules. So this is the 10 module we have, and all these 10 module you are just combining and you are creating one module. Which one is easy? This is the 10 we are just combining inside this single one. It's complicated. This one is complicated. If you are trying to perform any operation or you are trying to create anything with this model, it's complicated, right? But directly if I'm saying like inside this model you have to go and you have to create a class, that's it, right? So we are creating an application in individual modules. Okay, we are dividing our applications into an individual modules, and after that we are creating an applications, right? And at the end it will configure it. So it has reducing the complexity, right? You can reuse it. Now consider this is a module you have, and you want to use this module inside the another module. You can reuse it. You can just simply add this information configuration inside this module. That's it. You can reuse it. After a dynamic update, we knows that we have one concept, that is OSGi configurations. We have one concept, that is OSGi configuration. We knows that here if you have a class, okay, this is considered, this is your class, okay, and inside this class, if you want in the project level, right, if you want to define the company name, okay, this is the company underscore name, and here I am just passing a search. Okay, so what you are doing here, directly you are hard coding. This is not a good thing. So for that they have introduced the concept of OSGi configurations. They have introduced the concept of OSGi configuration, and here how we can create the OSGi configuration, by using a, we have one annotation, that is object class definition. Okay, object class definition, and here you can pass two things, firstly name, and second one is an descriptions. Guys, this is the name and this is the descriptions, right? In this way we will do. So basically what I'm trying to tell is, like, here we have a name, okay, and inside this name directly we are hard coding, so this is not a good thing. So for that they have introduced the concept of OSGi configuration. So here now you can create whatever you need, you can create here, and this is the information you can pass to this particular variable, right? Now here I'll just give you one example. So here object class definition we have created, we have to define as a class level, right? So here in this way we'll create the object configuration. In this way we'll create. So okay, so here you have to define the name. Now anything, it's up to you. So here this is our OSGi configuration now. So just define the OSGi configuration. Okay, here you can come, and after that here we have to define the value. Okay, our value we have to define, right? So simply we have to do that. And here type is a string. After that, if you want to define the name, you can define the name. It's up to you. Here you can define the name. Why we are creating? For the company, right? For the company you are creating. So whatever now user will in see, so by using this one, what it will does, it will create the OSGi configuration. It's just like an GUI it will create, right? It will create in the form of GUI, and after that here whatever user will write, so this value will return inside this method company name. It is wrong, and here this is, so this is the name, right? So whatever user will define here, this value where it will store, inside this company name. And okay, and it provides security. How? Because we will not give the access of this particular thing. So we have a OSGi configurations here. When you will go come here only, no, instead of console just define a OSGi configuration, or otherwise click on this OSGi configuration. Here we have options of the configuration, click there. Okay, so this is the OSGi configuration, it has opened. Now when you will click here, schedule a task, anything, so here you see in this format it will create, right? So just simply do one thing. When someone will create the OSGi configuration, and inside that if we have a value, okay, so they will not give you the permission to access this one. Your team lead will not give the permission, your seniors, to access this, right? So you can create it and you can simply pass. Otherwise they will create, you just simply have to call them. So how we can call? Here instead of that, now we know that we have to create an object. We have to create an object for this. Now consider we have created the object. Now you can just simply paste it, and what's the name? What is the name? Company name, right? That's it. We got it. We got these things. So inside that, here what we are doing, instead of writing hard code, you have to pass the value as a dynamic. So we have created the OSGi configurations, and after that directly we have passed the value. User will define there. After that someone will define. this is the value we are directly fetching. Okay, after this one is done, you will see here we have a easy deployment. It will easily deploy. It will create a versioning. It will create a versioning as well. So like consider here we have a jar 1. Okay, and the same jar 1 you have updated, that is jar 2. So now it will pick up the jar 1 instead of jar 1. Okay, right? Laziness, secure, it is a secure. Okay, and here we have a architecture of the OSGi. Okay, so how it will work? Before that, we'll just simply do one thing. We'll see the life cycle. Somewhere we have a life cycle. This is the life cycle. Okay, what does it mean by the life cycle? This one. Okay, so you can just simply click inside this. Here we have options of the bundles. Click on the bundles, and after that, now you will see here this is the bundle we have. So here you are saying right now your bundle is in active mode. Here we have a stop. That means you can stop your bundle. Here we have options of the refresh. Okay, here we have update, and here we have a delete. Right, so this is what, this is nothing but your life cycle. There is a one advantages for the OSGi, that is it will listen to your life cycle. If you want to see, if you want to stop, and once user will click on this stop, okay, and if you want to perform any actions, you can perform it. Okay, so it is listen to your life cycles. Okay, there is a thing. After that, right, when you will deploy the code, first thing it will is in install. Okay, it will is in install state. Okay, consider now you are deploying your code. So once you will deploy, so maven clean install p auto install bundle. So when you will deploy, so it will deploy here. So right now, if consider if it is in install state, that means something went wrong with this bundle. So maybe you now what you have done, you have reused it. That means some bundles you have, right? Some bundles you have considered, this is the bundle you have, right? And this bundle we haven't installed in our AEM. Okay, so in this case what it will happen is it will show in the install state. That means our bundle is not ready to execute, right? So right now is in install state. So it will, like, maybe we have an error inside our bundle, right? So what it will does, it will send to the next state, that is resolve. So it will ask for the resolve. Okay, and once it has resolved it, then it will go to the starting state, and this one is an optional. Okay, and this one is also an optional only. This starting and the stopping are the optional states. Okay, and here we have a activate. So once your bundle is resolved, directly it will go to the active state if this bundle, this starting and the stopping is not there. Got it? After that, if it is installed and user is directly clicking on this delete, then directly it will uninstall it. Got it? Okay, now here we have a OSGi architecture. That means how they have created the OSGi architecture. Now we have discussed about the life cycle, right? So this is the life cycle. It is managed inside this layer, in this life cycle layer, right? After that, here we have a security layer. So all this security it will perform inside this security layer. Okay, and after here we have a execution environment layer. Before that, here we have a module layer, right? So this module layer is nothing but this instance. This module layer is nothing but this one. So all your 577 bundles, so basically we have 582, right? Okay, so this 582 bundle, it is stored right now, or it is hold inside this module layer. Right now it has present inside this module layer. After that, if you want to execute it, so basically now what we have, if you want to write the OSGi code, so you have to define two things, like OSGi service, and here we have OSGi component. We have two things, OSGi service and the OSGi component. So this is nothing but your backend code. See, except your Sling model, everything is a OSGi components only, OSGi service only, right? So wherever you will use this @ component, this @ component is nothing but your OSGi service only. Okay, this @ component is nothing but the OSGi component, and when you will define here one attribute, that is a service, then it will convert into an OSGi service. Got it? So if you want to execute, like if you here it will store the, here inside that only we will store our code. Which code? OSGi service and OSGi component, and this is the OSGi service and OSGi component code. It will execute inside this execution environment layer. Again I'm just telling, like all your bundles it will store inside this module layer. Your lifecycle will manage inside this lifecycle layer. Okay, all your backend code just like OSGi service and OSGi component, it will store inside this service layer, and it will execute inside your execution environment layer, and your security will manage by this security layer. All right, got it? Here we have a difference between the bundle and the jar. Okay, there is one difference between the bundles and the jar. So inside the jar you will see the class files, right? You will see the resource files, but you won't see this metadata. And in the bundle you will see these three things. So it's a collections of the class, resource files and the metadata. So this metadata is nothing but the extra information. It has present some extra information related to your bundle. Okay, but in the jar it has present only class file and the resource file. Okay, okay, we'll see how we can create a OSGi service and OSGi components. Okay, it's complicated. Theoretically part is complicated and it's boring. We'll see. Practically it's easy only. Okay, so this is what, this one is your class, right? This is the class I need to convert into an OSGi component now. So for that we just simply have to use @component. That's nice. Okay, just simply import it. It has present inside this package. That is nice. After that, this is the component I need to convert into an OSGi service. So for that we have to use here service annotation. So internally what it is happening is, like when you will use the OSGi component, it will not create the object. But when you will use the OSGi service, then it will create the object for your OSGi service example class. Got it? Okay, so here basically if you don't have anything, if it's not extends anything, then simply you can do one thing, just copy this one and just simply paste it. Okay, and just define here class. Okay, just define the class. That's it. Okay, we have defined it. Now you want to act, you want to execute immediately. When it will deploy, immediately you want to execute. So in that case we have to define one attribute, that is immediate is equals to true. If you want to register something, you can do that things. Okay, here we have a property, we have a more than one properties, lot of these things we have. Okay, that's nice. After that, now here what I just wanted, simply now I just want to create one method, public void, and here I'm just creating one method, that is retrieve data. Okay, retrieve data, otherwise you can simply say create a data. Okay, you just simply have to just mention here create a data, create a node. Here I'm just defining one logic. Here I'm just mentioning like you have to create a node. Okay, so where we have to create a node, where actually node creates, inside the crxd, right? Where it will create the node inside the crxd only. And for going inside the crxd, what we need a permission. So for that what we need, resource resolver, right? But in the servlet we know that what we have request dot get resource resolver, and after that this is the method, it will return the resource resolver object, right? Here you can define the resolver object, but in that case this request is not present. How we can get, how we can get now? Yeah, so for that we need a system user, system service we need. How we can create it? Lightly I'm telling. Okay, so basically you just simply have to, first of all you have to go inside the file explorer, crx. Here is the path, this is the path you have to define, localhost 4502 crx explorer, hit enter. Once you will hit enter, you have to log in, submit, log it. Okay, check you are login or not. Here, if that option is there, log out, that means you have login. Here we have a name, that is user administrator. Okay, after that, here we have an option that is create a system user. You just simply have to create it, name your user, that's it. Okay, November user I'm just mentioning. After that, here you have to come and you just simply have to click on this. Okay, once you are clicking and this option it has opened, that means you have created. After that, once you have created, now we have created a user, we have to give a permission, no, then only we can access this hierarchy, right? So if you want to give the permission, you have to go inside another path, that is localhost user admin, hit enter. That's nice, we got it. Now we have created one user. What is that? November something, November user we have created. Now double click on it. Once you will double click on it, here we have options of the permissions, you have to click on everything. It's up to you. If you want to access the content folder only, you can just give the permissions of the content folder, that's it. Sometimes we need a add as well. Sometimes, now in this case what we are doing, we are trying to create it, right? We are trying to create a node, so for that you have to do these things. This replication, this edit ACL we don't need, but still we can just click on it. Only we have not selected this bin, right? Except that we have selected everything. Okay, this thing is done now. Now we have to save. We will not click on this bin. Okay, that's okay. Something is missed, that is also okay, not a matter. Okay, so here we have options of the save. We have to save, and again you can just click here and just check it, like all the permission it has applied or not. So for that, come here, November, and hit enter. Double click on it. In this, go inside the permission. Yeah, this time it has applied, right? So first thing what we have done, we have created a system user by going inside this CRSD Explorer. After that, whatever the system user we have created, we have given a permissions, right? Second thing, we have given a permission. Now third thing, like this is the user we have to attach with our project. How we can do that thing? So for that, we know that where is our project. So we will see the project inside the bundle, right? Which one is our project? So in my case, this one is my project, right? This is my project. So this is the project I just simply want to attach with that particular user. How we can do that thing? So for that, you have to go inside the configure manager, config manager. It look like a difficult, but it's very easy. Okay, like firstly we have to go inside the, you have to create a user. After that, you simply, we have to give the permissions by coming in this path user admin. Later that, now we have to attach what you have to bind. Okay, or you want to attach your project with your user, so then only we can give the permission, right? So how we can do that thing? You have to come inside this config manager. What is this? Config manager, right? Here you have to search, they already have created, we just simply have to use it. Ensure, yeah, there is a service amendment we have here. You see what is that? Apache Sling service user mapper service amendment, right? So here you have to define, once you will use this one, then only you can bind your project with your user. So what is your username? Okay, here we have a November user. Copy this. After that, here you have to come. Here they have everything mentioned it. So firstly they are saying, yeah, like you have to mention the bundle ID. Here they have mentioned it. What you have to mention? Bundle ID. Go there and copy your bundle ID. Here we have bundle ID. Copy this bundle ID, go inside this and just simply paste it. After that, what they said, like after the bundle ID you have to give the colon, like come here and give the colon. After that, what they are mentioning, you have to mention the sub service name. By using that only we are using, okay, by using that only we'll get the resource resolver. So here I'm just mentioning November user. After that, what they are mentioning, assignment operator, right? November user, copy this one, and after that they are mentioning like you have to use the assignment operator, and after that username. What is our username? November user, right? Copy this November user and just simply come here and paste it. Paste it. That's it. Don't click 2 or 3 times, right? Only one time you have to click on it, otherwise it will create 5 or 6 times. It will not save quickly. So here in this case, what we have done, our project we have attached with our permissions. So permission where we have given to this particular user. Now both now we can access by using this November user. Save the changes. It will take some time for saving, right? Yeah. Otherwise, if you will create 2 or 3 times, yeah, here you see. Now in this case, maybe somewhere it has created where it is. What is the name? Yeah, there is a November user is that created, right? This one is has created. After that, when you will go here, if you have saved continuously, you will see more than 2 or 3, right? So this is the thing we have created. Now we got the permission. Now we have created a resource resolver. Okay, we have to create a resource resolver. How we can create? You can just simply define public void, public static. Otherwise, you can just simply create another one, another class you can create. Here we have a resource resolver. Okay, this class it has already created. Here I have defined the constructor, right? After that, here I have defined one variable, and inside that I have mentioned my user. So this is our user. In this case, what we have? November user, right? So this is our November user. This is the user where we have stored here. Okay. Now here I have defined one method, that is resource resolver. So this is our method. Inside that we have added the resource resolver, and here we need a factory. It provides some extra information to your resource resolver. Okay. So in that case, what I have done here is, here I have created one resource resolver factory. Here I have defined the variable for it. Okay. After that, the thing is we need a workspace. First of all, what we need a workspace for running anything. Okay. So here you have, firstly you have to create a map. Okay. Once you will create the map, after that only you have to mention the workspace. So in this way we will define the workspace. Okay. And after that your permissions. So here we have a permissions where we have stored inside this system service. So here is the system service. Now we got the, so now this is the thing, all this information where we have inside this map, right? Now we need a resource resolver. Till now we got the permission, right? We didn't get the resource resolver. How we can get? So we have one resource resolver factory. It gives the extra permission to your resource resolver. So here inside that we have one method, that is get service resource resolver, and all this is nothing but your user or the permissions, right? And by using that only, now we got the resource resolver, and this is the resource resolver we are returning. Now anywhere wherever you want inside the OSGi service, we are talking about the OSGi service, wherever you want, you have to simply call to this resource resolver. Why? Because this is a static method. You can simply call by using this class. Copy this class. Now we need a resource resolver. Come here and simply you have to mention this is the class. After that, what is the name? New resolver, right? We got it. We got it. Now here we have to define reference and resource resolver factory. Now you can just simply define a resolver factory. When you are going inside this new method, just try to go inside this new method. Here we have one parameter, that is resource resolver factory. So that's why we have to create here. We have created. Now you can import simply. Once you have imported, here inside that we have to pass the resolver factory. That's it. Now this is the thing, we know that this is the new resolver. This method will return the object of resolver, right? Before that I think it's throwing one error, surrounded with try and catch. Okay, we have surrounded with try and catch. Now this is the thing, it will return the resource resolver. Okay, we got the resolver here. Now we can get it anything, whatever we want. So what we want in this case, we want to create a node. But where we want to create a node? So I'll just simply want to create a node inside this path. Inside the content, here we have a search software folder. Inside this JCR, here we have a, here only I just want to create. So come here, and here you have to mention the, now we know that by using a resolver we can get the resource, and which resource you want, you just simply have to paste it. Okay, so inside this what we are doing, the resolver we got it. Here you have to get the resource, which resource you want. So I need this JCR. Inside this only I want to create a node. See, the complicated task is like we have to create a resolver. Okay, so see separate video for creating a resolver. Okay, how we can create a system user. That's it. It's not complicated. I mixed the OSGi and the service user, and we are creating the node now. So it's complicated. Okay, so separately you can learn the resource, like how we can create a system user, and after that you can see this OSGi. It becomes easy. Okay, so now we got the resolve. So permission we got it. Now we can go inside the CRSD. What we need this one. This is the path. So what is that? This is nothing but the resource only. So here resolver dot get the resource, and here you have to mention the path. After that, whatever you have mentioned inside this get resource, you will get the object of the resource, right? We got the object of the resource. That means now whatever we have mentioned inside this, all these things where it will store. That's nice. We got the resource. Now what we have to do specially, we want to create a node inside this, right? So how we can create a node? You just simply have to define resolver dot create, and where you want to create, inside this path, right? Inside this path only, no? Inside the JCR. So this path where we have stored here. That's it. So this is the path. Here inside this path we have to store, and what the thing you want to store. So basically, no, what is the name you want for your node? So here I'm just mentioning node 10. This is the name I want, and here you can mention the map. Now we knows that. So when you are coming here, this is what we have, node A, right? So this is what your name. This is the name we have mentioned it here. Okay, this is path. This is the GCR path we have. So inside this path only we want to create. Where? Here. In this path only we want to create it here. Okay, so this is the path also we have now. Now what we need, when you are just clicking on this, here you see right now we don't have any properties. If you want to create a properties, here you have to mention. How we can mention it? Create a properties first of all. It's a property in the form of string and the value. So for that we have to use map, comma, again you can just define string. Here you can define the map, and map is equals to new hash map, and here you can mention, if you want you can mention there, otherwise let it be. Now import it. Now in this case what I'm doing here, I'm just defining the map dot put. Here I'm just defining the title you can name it anything. Okay, so here I'm just hardcoding. This is not a good way. Okay, so node 10 is in title. Okay, after that here we have map dot put, and the thing is here you can just define the ID. id you can define in 1 2 3 4 5 whatever it is. Here you can define id dot put, and you can define here what is date of birth. Okay, so this is the date of birth we have added. Now just save the changes. Okay, so this is the thing we have added simply. Now here a resolver we are just simply creating, and here we have passed everything. That's it. Now it will create our resolver. It will create our resolver. That means it will create the nodes simply. What it is mentioning here. Okay, so here we have to define the string of object. Okay, so inside this it will accept the string of objects only. Okay, instead of that it is throwing one exception. Instead of this you can just handle the parent exception. Just define the parent exception here. Now save it. Okay, that error has gone. Okay, so whatever that we have created we need to save, otherwise it won't create. So here for saving you just simply have to type here resolver dot commit. That's it, it will save. Okay, and after that if you want to close it, here you have to define resolver dot close. But this is a resolver object we don't have. We have to create it up, then you can close it. So this one is done, this one is done. Now the thing is, if I want to, why I have defined, this is the logic, simple. Now we haven't discussed about the OSGi, right? OSGi, and OSGi provides a lot of annotations, and based on that if you want to perform any operation you can perform it. Now here this is the create node method I have. How this node will create? It won't create directly, we have to call, but when you will deploy this, this code won't execute. So if you want to execute this code at the time of deployment, so when you will deploy and when your bundle will activate, that time if you want to execute it, then you have to use this at the rate activate method annotations. Here you have to define the at the rate activate annotations. Okay, and here you can define any method. So here in this case I just defining the init, and here you can pass your create node. That's it. Now this method will call when your bundle will activate, right? So when you will deploy and this bundle will activate, that time automatically whatever you are mentioning inside this create node, it will, yeah, it will. After that if you are uninstalling, okay, that means if your bundle isn't deactivate, if you want to call it, then you have to define here deactivate. Just import this annotation. So public void deactivate. Okay, and here also you can mention it. So when the node is deactivate, so here we have to define the code for the removing, yeah, right? So here if your bundle isn't deactivate, that time we have to write the code for removing the nodes, right? Here what we are doing, we are just, for the example we are adding, try to deploy it. Okay, but where it will print, how we knows that like it has executed or not? Till now we'll deploy, till now we'll deploy, try to deploy it. CMD, here we have to define mvn clean install p auto install bundle, right? Hit enter. Now but how we will know it has created or not? It won't return anything. So instead of that you can just simply debug it. That means you can create a logger, okay, and you can simply check it. How we can create a logger? Private static final, you can use final, and here we have to create the object of the logger, and here logger factory.getLogger. Here we have to use this, and here we have to mention the class. Here we have to mention it dot class. That's it. Okay, so we have done. Now just simply import it. Here at the last we have to take this and we have to import. That's it. Now you can just mention here when it will when this code will execute, you just simply have to mention log.info and you have to say node has created. Okay, simply come here. Firstly, it will start. So log.info starting execution. Okay, here this execution will here node will create. Okay, now so node has created here. Here also we can mention node has created. That's it. Now you can deploy again. I don't know for this service we have created configurations or not. I don't know. We have created log files or not. Okay, it won't creates. Now first time we have deployed it. No, just come here inside the CRXD. Come here and try to refresh it. It doesn't create it. Something went wrong. So in the permission or something it went wrong, because of that reason only here it's not creating a node. Okay, otherwise it will create. In node we have given this permission. I think we have something wrong in the permission. Let me deploy this one and we'll check once. Okay, it has deployed successfully. Refresh it. What is the parameter we have passed here? Content search software. Here we have to find the JCR column content. Okay, here we have to create one node. Yeah, this node 10 has created, right? So this is the node 10 it has created, and inside that here you see whatever we have defined. ID, this is the ID. Here we have a date of birth and the title, everything we have mentioned it, right? This is the thing, buddies.